Hey guys, what's going on? It's Brad with TechBud Solutions. We are a trading group within the TechBud Solutions platform, and we are a subgroup that specifically trades OTCs or over-the-counter stocks. These are stocks that aren't traded on your typical three exchanges such as NASDAQ, S&P 500, and Dow Jones. These are micro stocks typically. I usually trade um, uh, stocks that are under a penny. So, um, just kind of wanted to go over a few things today. Actually, just one thing in particular. Didn't want to make this video too terribly long, but I wanted to go over what Bollinger Bands were in technical analysis. A lot of you have been asking me that question, how I do my own technical analysis, and really, I only use one particular indicator. A lot of people use a lot of different indicators. Me personally, I like it to look as clean as possible. I don't like to see all these crazy lines all over the place. Some people can decipher them just fine, other people not. I'm one of those people that does not. I find Bollinger Bands to be the most simple and easiest way to determine buying and selling opportunities within a stock. Um, and I'm going to go over that right now. So um, the hot one this past week was Phil. PHIL. Sorry for the last video. I know I kept saying FHIL. The whole entire video is FHIL. Anyway, we'll just go with Phil. So Phil here was trading really thin before the news was officially broke out. Their 8K was released, and I saw their 8K was released, and I noticed how thinly this was being traded. And what I mean by that is I'm looking at this Bollinger Band. There's three different lines here on a Bollinger Band technical analysis indicator. And when I'm looking at how it's trading, and these Bollinger Bands are really close together, that indicates to me that there's a very good chance that this stock could take off with some sort of catalyst. And what I mean by catalyst is, big news, positive news, such as the 8K that was released here and the acquisition news that broke out on this as well. Kind of got hit with a double whammy on this one, and it sent it flying, as we all know. And so that's what I look for first. When I'm finding a stock to trade, I see that there's news coming out. I see the potential there. And then that's when I go to these Bollinger Bands to see how thinly it's been traded. What's the volatility looking like? So when it's this close together, that's another red flag to me that says, okay, this is something that I really want to take a look at and probably should consider getting into, even if it's just a small position, and then I could add to it later. Obviously, it did go flying once people caught wind of this news that broke out, and the buying started to break out over this top Bollinger Band. Typically, what that means in a stock that's being traded consistently at a high volume, that this could be oversold. And it eventually got to that point. People started selling off once they got above this Bollinger Band after it broke out, and they started to sell a little bit. Some of us might have bought in on this dip. I didn't. I just kind of held strong. Sometimes I will, depending on what it is. But I really won't think about selling this after it breaks out here until I start to see it fall below this middle line. And then I'll start to thinking about maybe selling it. I'm not doing it with this particular stock just because I still think that it is just a juggernaut right now. The acquisition is supposed to go through on or around the 8th. Once that goes through, I honestly believe that this is still just going to go. So let that be a lesson to you that I don't just go specifically on technical analysis when I'm buying or selling a stock. There's many things that play in here, and Bollinger Bands is a very good tool to use, but it's just one tool to use. I use a conglomerate of all of them. I went over a bunch of other stuff that I use in previous videos. I encourage you to view those if you haven't yet. And so one thing that's also a good thing to use when you're looking at a Bollinger Band, I did go over the oversold portion. So if it's being traded above this line, it's being typically oversold, and there's a very good chance that it's going to drop below that. Consequently, you'll see that drop most likely. And it could be a couple of things. It could be an opportunity for you to add on to what you already have here because you can buy into that dip, or it could be coming right back down to where it was. It's just one of those things you have to keep an eye on and then watch what it's doing here in that middle line, which is typically what I do as well. If you're seeing a stock trading below this bottom line, typically that means that it's being oversold, and then you'll go and maybe want to buy in on that dip. If it's going to be oversold under this line, it's a very good chance that it could start going above again because people are noticing that it's oversold, so they're going to buy into something that's really cheap. Two more things. One more thing I wanted to go over too. If you are trading Robinhood on the Robinhood platform, Robinhood does not trade over-the-counter or OTC stocks. So if you join our chat group, which I will put a link in the description below, please note that you cannot trade any stocks on Robinhood. I've been meaning to say that forever, and I just keep forgetting, and now I'm finally getting to it. Fidelity kind of trades some of them, but they really don't trade all of them. TD Ameritrade and E-Trade are the best ones to trade on. I moved all of my stuff over to TD Ameritrade, and I primarily use, E-Trade, and I primarily use TD Ameritrade just for technical analysis purposes, and I just think it's user friendly. And not that E-Trade isn't, but I just like their tools and their technical analysis tools with Trade Architect much better than with E-Trade. So anyway, that's all I wanted to kind of go over today for a little bit. Was my own technical analysis, how I view this. If you have any questions about it, of course, leave them in the comments below. I will get to them as soon as I can. Also note, I've had some people, asking me why I don't make videos every day. It's because I have a 9-to-5 job and I have a life as well. So I get to them as consistently as I can, but also please kind of be considerate of the fact that this isn't all I do, and we're giving this service to you for free, and we're not asking you for anything. We just all want to be able to help each other succeed, and I'm enjoying this ride so far, and I appreciate all the support that you all have been giving me. I can't thank you enough for it. It's kind of like a surreal thing for me at this point. But just understand that I'm not going to be able to do this every day like Ricky does, unfortunately. Hopefully I'll get to that point one day. Maybe, in the near future, I won't need my day job to do, and I can just focus on this full time. But for right now, I'm just going to be able to get to this as much as I can, but understand that I, also have a life outside of TechBuds. So I have to, manage that work-life balance. All right, so guys, I again appreciate everything. I'm going to leave a link to Ricky's channel below, as well as Connor's. If you don't know who those two guys are, Ricky is the leader of TechBud Solutions. He's the founder of it. He basically day trades on stocks that have a 5 to 10% potential, and he makes that 5 to 10% per day based on those trades. And a lot of people like that because it's a little bit more safer way to do it. I prefer the volatility just because I like to see 300 and 500% gains, and it excites the crap out of me. But Ricky's is a very efficient way to trade, especially if you're a beginner. He goes over a lot of stuff for beginners, and he's really great at that. The other channel we have is for Connor. Connor makes his trades based off of momentum. So if any big news arises, and he trades typically in the big three exchanges as well. I don't think I've ever seen him in OTCs, but say if AMD or Apple has a big news that comes out, acquisition or merger or something like that, he trades off of that momentum, and he's very good at what he does there, and he'll teach you how to do that there as well. All right, and I'll also leave a link to the description to our chat group below. Our chat group talks 24/7 just about anything and everything stocks. Sometimes we go outside of that. I actually enjoy talking to all of you about what you do for a living and what you're all into, just to kind of like give our culture a little bit something more to talk about than just tickers and numbers and stuff like that. I just like enjoying hearing you guys talk about what you're into. You've seen me in my previous videos talk about Jeeps and fishing and stuff like that. So, all right. So if you guys are in the Maryland area and are down to go fishing or go on a trail ride at Roush Creek or something like that, hit me up. We'll work that out too. All right, guys. So it's Sunday. It's August 6th. I hope we all have a good week this week. I will, as always, call out some stocks to watch in the mornings. And that is all for me. So B Smith out.